No, noted, but your racket was on your...
You're okay to go under, but as long as you don't hit... No.
Oh, Shi Yuqi's asking.
The system has no decision, so the original call stands. Yes.
Instead, the focus has been on repeated controversies involving umpires during the match, sparking strong dissatisfaction among numerous players and fans. Once again, the BWF has become the target of criticism. So, how did this prestigious, top-tier event descend into a farce? Let's recap the controversial moments from the World Championships. During a men's singles first-round match, Shi Yuqi from China made an error after Lakshya Sen returned his drop shot. Immediately after, Shi Yuqi complained to the umpire, claiming his opponent had committed a fault. From the slow-motion replay, it was clear that before Lakshya Sen hit the shuttle, Shi Yuqi's return had already landed on the ground.
Yes! Oh, what a great point from Shi Yuqi.
Confirming Shi Yuqi's claim. In fact, the umpires' positions absolutely allowed them to clearly witness the entire process. Shockingly, both the umpire and the service judge ignored Sen's fault at the same time, awarding the point to Lakshya Sen, which indirectly helped him tie the score. Despite it being an obvious misjudgment, since the umpire has the final decision-making authority, even the world #1 couldn't change the outcome. In the match between Koki Watanabe and Dwicahyo, Koki Watanabe's return clearly landed in bounds, and the line judge had already called it in. However, the umpire suddenly overruled the line judge's decision and awarded the point to his opponent. Under normal circumstances, Koki Watanabe could have challenged the result, but unfortunately, this court was not a broadcast court, so there was no Hawkeye challenge system. Koki Watanabe had no choice but to accept to the umpire's subjective judgment. A similar situation occurred during a women's singles match. PV Sindhu from India ended a long rally with a net kill, but was called for a fault by the umpire on the grounds of hitting the shuttle over the net. From the slow-motion replay, it was evident that PV Sindhu only hit the shuttle after it had crossed the net, which did not constitute a fault.
I think it is so difficult for umpires to tell.
This was clearly another erroneous judgment by the umpire, indirectly affecting PV Sindhu's performance in the deciding game. The match between Guangzu from China and Teh Jia Heng from Singapore, the score reached 14-13 in the deciding game. After a mistake, Teh Jia Heng smashed his racket in frustration and was issued a yellow card by the umpire for misconduct.
Warning for misconduct.
At that point, the score should have gone from 14-13 to 15-13. But during Teh Jia Heng's medical timeout, the umpire suddenly awarded an extra point to Guangzu, making the score 16-13. Noticing something was wrong, Teh immediately reminded the umpire.
Teh was doing there, it was just...
But the umpire responded like this.
Yeah.
No, it's a point to him.
Oh, hold on.
According to the rules, a player is only penalised a point after accumulating 2 yellow cards. The umpire had no reason whatsoever to award the point. A similar situation occurred at the 2019 World Championships, where Jia Ivan and Chen Qingchen from China were unexpectedly deducted a point in the deciding game. Despite the Chinese team's request for a replay, the umpire still refused to change the call. Similarly, the umpire ignored Teh Jia Heng's complaint and stuck to their decision.
I'm a little confused here.
Teh Jia Heng was unjustly deprived of a crucial point, which indirectly led to him losing the match. The issue arose during the match between Loh Kean Yew and Victor Lai from Canada. Victor Lai lost his balance after a net kill.
It's out! It's gonna go out!
And rolled under the net, intruding into his opponent's side of the court. Both players ended up on the ground after the rally concluded. At that moment, realising the problem, Loh Kean Yew immediately complained to the umpire, claiming Victor Lai had committed a fault. When we check the rules regarding what constitutes a fault, it does state that players are not allowed to invade the opponent's court with their body under the net. However, there is a major prerequisite. The intrusion must hinder or distract the opponent. But the question is, what defines hindrance or distraction? How much body intrusion counts as a fault? These issues seem rather vague in the rules.
Certainly done that.
No, it didn't hindrance you.
The umpire believed that Victor Lai's slip did not affect Loh's shot, so they deemed Loh Kean Yew's complaint invalid and awarded the point to Victor Lai as valid, leaving Loh Kean Yew extremely dissatisfied.
No.
During the discussion, an utterly speechless moment occurred. The umpire called over the tournament referee and explained the situation. One would think the tournament referee would at least explain the reason to Loh Kean Yew, but instead, she just said this.
Play on. You cannot do anything.
Yes, there's absolutely...
Such handling inevitably raises questions. What exactly is the role of the tournament referee? In the men's singles quarter-final between Indonesia's Jonathan Christie and Thailand's Kunlavut Vitidsan, Jonathan's net shot was called out by the line judge, and he immediately requested a Hawkeye challenge.
That is the best rally of the match.
What a point to win there.
Unexpectedly, the Hawkeye system's replay showed the following screen.
No decision, initial call stands. I've never seen that.
It turned out the Hawkeye system had malfunctioned, making it impossible to determine the result. From the slow-motion replay, it was clear that Jonathan's return had landed in bounds,
Well in.
Yeah.
and it should have been Jonathan's point.
Since the system has no decision, so the original call stands. Yes.
In this special circumstance, instead of properly using the replay to make a judgment, the umpire chose to uphold the original call and awarded the point to Kunlavut. This decision baffled everyone, including his opponent Kunlavut Vitidsan. After the incidents, many players like Loh Kean Yew and Teh Jia Heng publicly accused the BWF on social media, particularly highlighting the issue of umpire having excessive power. As the officials in charge of the matches, umpires absolutely have the responsibility to maintain professionalism. A moment of negligence can ruin an entire match. No one wants controversies to overshadow the excitement of the matches themselves. Faced with numerous issues in the rules framework and judging, shouldn't the BWF re-examine the problems and give players a fair, competitive environment? Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this episode's content. Remember to like, save and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment sharing your thoughts on this incident, and we'll see you next time.